Welcome to January 2022, week number 3. I'm Colleen Derrick. I'm a financial advisor with Swaggers Insurance. This month, we are doing a 4-week mini course on my story, your story, looking in, up, back, and all around. What I wanted to do was to share with you the process that I'm applying to my life and my business to help really transition well from 2021, which was a bit of a surprise in many ways, and successfully keep some momentum going and launch off of what I achieved in 2021 to make the year 2022 a really good success. To share that with you, I've broken it down into, of course, 4 weeks, 4 little mini lessons that are hopefully quick and easily actionable. We talked about how to transition from one year to another can be a powerful leveraging of a momentum or a rebirth if a new direction is desired, if you execute these things well. But they don't happen by accident. They have to be orchestrated. So week 1, we talked about having kindness with yourself, looking in, making sure you know who you are, what you value. Week number 2 was about dreams, and then editing our dreams to find a vision of one goal that you will focus on and being flexible with that. Again, the title, My Story, Your Story, kind of gives it away. We want this to be the story of your life, which means that you're writing it with intention. And there should be a flow from one chapter to another, as opposed to a whole bunch of starts and stops and disconnected things. We want to tie them together and make it a cohesive story of your life so that you are able to express the core of who you are and what you value and why you do what you do in your life, because it's valuable. Week number 3, you've heard me say it, I'm repeating it today, hindsight is 2020. That is a valuable asset that we need to capitulate. Not sure that's the right word, but you get the gist, right? We want to utilize this. We need to be utilizing the tools in our toolboxes, leveraging the assets that we need, right? Getting the most bang for our buck out of what we have to work with. Well, hindsight is one of those things. Look back and assess. What do you see most clearly about yourself in the last year? What were you successful at? Where did your story leave off? These are questions that will help you take a bit of an analytical look at this past year, which may not have been what you expected it to be. You might not have been what you expected you to be. We get surprised by ourselves sometimes when we're pressed, or sometimes when we're blessed. So if you're one of those people coming out of 2021 in better shape than you went in, sometimes that can be as disorienting as having hard things. When hard things happen, we kind of get that tyranny of the urgent, that laser focus of survival. When we do really well, sometimes we flounder. So both of these things have positives and negatives depending on how you utilize them. So do you like your story? When you look at 2021, and you're the hero of your story, or you should be, right? You should be the hero. You're writing your story. It should be reflecting you. When you look back at 2021, do you like how you were reflected and portrayed? What do you like best about you? What are some of your highlights? And if you're not so pleased with how it portrayed you, why not? What would you have done differently? Because guess what? You get another year to do things differently if you want. You're not stuck. You're not pigeonholed. Don't try and jam yourself into a hole that doesn't fit. Create a hole that sets you off to the best light and the best viewing as we take a beautiful piece of art and we cast the lighting just so, and we frame it very specifically, and we present it. The story of your life is presenting you. So present yourself. And if 2021 did that, awesome. What do you like best? How can you recreate it? Because when you were successful, and when you look back and you say, wow, I was successful. And again, by your measure, by your standards, nobody else says. But when you say, I was successful at that, go and see what was successful about it. How did you orchestrate that success? Because you just unlocked a pattern of success. You can repeat it. Once you know the combination to open a lock, do you go back to square one and try a different combination each time? No, you know the combination. You know how to unlock that lock. So the same thing is with success. Once you have your combination to unlock success, repeat it, duplicate that, apply it to different areas, but you know the process that works for you. So go back and find something you're proud of about 2021 and celebrate it, but also take a look at how you accomplished it. And then see where and how you can apply those steps to your new goal, your new focus. Lastly, take a look at what's thriving. At the end of 2021, maybe what you wanted to thrive isn't. Okay, we've dealt with that. You've got plans. But what was thriving? Because I will guarantee you that something, even if it was small, maybe insignificant to you, but something was thriving at the end of 2021. What was it? And once you find it, ask yourself, what can it fuel? It's doing well. It's growing. Oh, fantastic. What can I do with it? How can I leverage that to fuel, which will then help me pursue my goal? Be creative. Have some fun with it. My story, as I look back and assess, I was very pleased to look back and see the learning part, the adapting part of my nature come out last year. I was looking around and seeing a lot of changes, and I slowed down so that I could learn from them and grow from them and adapt to them. I did that well. I was proud of seeing that part of my nature reflected. The relationships with my kids, that was a success. Transitioning from children to adults. It's been tough sometimes, man. It's been hard. But this year we got our feet under us. And so I celebrate that success. And I look back and I'm like, how did I manage that? And you know what? One of the things I learned is that I often find success when I back off from things and give it space to breathe. When I'm quiet and I observe. So I'm going to do that in this new year. And what was thriving at the end of the year? My process of renewal. So what was thriving? Myself. I had been giving myself permission to rest. I was paying very close attention when I started to get worn out or a little tired or snappish or irritable or impatient. I was not waiting until I was plumb out of energy or chutzpah or enthusiasm, but I was stopping and doing a quick action point on that and resting. And so I and my energy sources and my enthusiasm were thriving at the end of the year. So how am I going to leverage that into 2022? Well, one, I'm going to learn to focus on one thing so that I can have that flexibility to rest when I need to. And number two, I can try something a little new and a little scary because I have that stockpile of energy. And that's going to be neat to be able to tackle something that's a little harder, a little challenging because of the energy to do so. I'm excited about that. What's your story from 2021? And what are your highlights?